Who controls America's money? The answer has provoked fascination, suspicion, and debate for over a century. From secret meetings on Jekyll Island to the high-rise towers of Wall Street, this is the story, fact, and myth of the families and entities behind the Federal Reserve. In 1910, a handful of America's most powerful bankers and financiers held a clandestine meeting at Jekyll Island, Georgia. Their goal: design a banking system immune to panics, yet able to serve Wall Street's needs. The guest list read like a financial who's who. Representatives from J.P. Morgan, Rockefeller interests, Kuhn, Loeb, and Europe's Rothschilds. Their blueprint became the Federal Reserve Act. When the Fed was chartered in 1913, founding banks contributed capital, sometimes not in cash, but through the magic of fractional reserve lending. Early equity stakes reflected not just real money from American taxpayers, but creative accounting from banking houses, multiplying their leverage and influence within the new system. The Fed is a hybrid, public in its mission, private in structure. 12 regional reserve banks are technically owned by private banks in their districts, yet overseen by the presidentially appointed Federal Reserve Board. Today, about 20% of the Fed's equity traces to original taxpayer funds, the rest to historic banking interests. But the real power is not ownership, it's governance, the ability to set policy, create money, and steer the economy. Populist fears of a global banking cabal have fueled endless theories. Its true powerful families, especially in the Fed's early days, shaped its direction. But the Fed is not purely private nor wholly public, and the boundaries between insider influence and democratic control remain hotly contested. Political power still matters. The president appoints key leaders, Congress sets mandates, and Wall Street's interests pulse through every debate. But the invisible hand of legacy shareholders, whether real or imagined, is never far from the story. Over the decades, pressure has mounted to shine a brighter light inside the Fed. Critics on the left and right call for more transparency, public accountability, and even a return to government-only control. Others warn too much political intervention could threaten U.S. economic stability and global trust in the dollar. Whatever the structure, the real test is results. Does the Fed act for the American people or for private interests? As digital money, cryptocurrencies, and global finance rewrite the rulebook, the battle for control and trust is far from over. The Federal Reserve's founding families and original bank shareholders set its course, but America's money now sails in a sea of new challenges. Is it truly the people's money, or do unseen hands still hold the lever? Perhaps in the end, the story of the Fed is the story of America itself, a constant struggle between power, principle, and the promise of shared prosperity. The money masters. Who really pulls the strings of American finance?